Hey guys, so I just want to take a moment and just come and just talk about how good God is. And I know that this is like, I don't want to show my face. I am not ready to be on no camera or anything, but I just wanted to come and just speak on the goodness of God. Like, God is just so good, and I just want to take this moment and share this super short video of just how good God is. Like, as I am sitting here and just meditating on his word and just going on my word, when I opened my Bible, I was intending on going to another section of my Bible. I was going to go to Habakkuk and read some things. And when I opened my word, I said my prayers and everything, and I opened my word, and God led me here to Isaiah 41. And I don't even know what this for. This is random. I have random stickies everywhere, but this just was to keep my page, I guess. But so as I read this, I originally opened up to this page, and this is one reason why I enjoy writing in my Bible, because I get to go back and see some things that I wrote and everything. And as I read, and it was funny because I was praying before I started, and I was asking God to help me to be still before him, and just really praying about being still in his presence and stuff, because I feel like I just been challenged lately to be still, to sit still, for my mind to be still. I've been so anxious. My mind has been so anxious, and I just was just praying about it, because I'm like, God, I just feel distant. I felt distant from him, because I don't feel like, even though I've been reading my word and stuff, and I've been reading my devotions and stuff like that, a part of me just still felt so distant from him. When you get into a place and you have these intimate moments with God and everything, it is something that your spirit needs. Like, when it's different, when it's changed. So even though you may be going through the motions, still studying his word, and you're getting revelations and you're getting things from him, it is a difference when you feel like your heart, like, is a disconnect. And that's how I've been feeling. I just been feeling like, God, I feel like I'm still so far away from you. Like, with my heart, I feel like my heart is disconnected, and I need to be connected. I need to be fully connected, mind, body, spirit. So I need to be fully connected. And so I've been really praying today a lot about being still, and just being still, and just knowing that he is God, and quieting my mind, and being silent in his presence. And so when I opened up the word, and then it opened up to this, and it caught my eye here about being silent and stuff. So I read through and everything, and hold on. So I read through, and then I ended up on this page, which is this is a place that God had led me to. Of course, I read this over multiple times, but these highlights and stuff come from a time when God started me on this journey of transformation, of transitioning my life and everything. And it was about 2 years ago when he did that. Um and I remember it so well, because it was a time when I had separated. I had just gotten divorced, and I felt so, like, I didn't know that I felt ashamed, but I knew I felt ashamed, and, like, I felt guilty about it and everything. I just felt like unaccepted. I was fearful. I had fears and stuff, because I thought that, oh my goodness, I can't get married again, and that scared me. And so even though I was still praying to God and talking to him, I really wasn't in my word like that, because I was afraid. Um and I didn't necessarily know I was avoiding and I was afraid, but at the same time, when that was happening, and then I was in a place where I was really focused on not being depressed, because I was like, I can't afford to be depressed and waste time on that because, I have kids, and I can't be depressed. I was depressed in marriage, and, now I'm not married anymore and stuff. And so I started this journey on, and this is going somewhere, so please just, so I started this journey on a self, my self, what is it called, what they call it now, the self-help, I forgot, self-love journey. I started the self-love journey and everything, and it really just started off as me just walking. I just started walking again because I just needed to be doing something for me and to not be focusing on, the situation and what was happening around me. And so that was something that I just started doing like every single day. I just started walking and listening to music and praying and worshiping and stuff. And as I did that and stuff, I started to lose all of this weight. And before I knew it, I had lost about 30, 40 pounds in about 2.5, 3 months, and without intentionally doing it. But I had come to a point where I realized that I had lost all this weight, and it felt even better. You know what I mean? And so it added to my self-love journey. And so, as I really start digging deeper into the self-love journey and meditating and doing all these things and stuff, and then little by little I started to, kind of sort of get involved with new age things. And the thing about new age stuff, I might do a new video about that, about how I kind of got into that and how it was and my experience with it. But the thing about the new age stuff is that the enemy, he's slick. He's not going to just let you know that you're going into something, into some danger zones. He eases you into it and make you feel like it's a safe space. And so that's kind of what happened. I was just easing into it, and I called myself still being safe and not doing certain things. At the time, I didn't know it was called New Age or nothing like that. It was just certain things that videos that I watched that I knew was not okay, but I justified it, and at the time it made sense. So I watched like astrology, and I justified it because I was like, well, I'm not watching for them to tell my future, but it's interesting, and it's kind of weird how it lines up. So I justified it and everything, and then I just started getting into little things, into crystals and stuff like that, and I justified that. I'm not worshiping the crystals and this and that. And so I got into this stuff and everything. And as things happened and stuff, and I was meditating and learned how to meditate more and more and doing more things with meditation and stuff, things started happening, things started shifting. And one, it did feel really good. But at the same time, you were more aware of spirits and things that's happening. And things were happening, spirits was happening. I was having very vivid dreams, and it was things happening. And I'm like, okay, God, what's happening? And because I know who my source is, I know my foundation is, and then I always called out to Jesus when fear came, when I had night terrors and stuff, but I wasn't aware of what was happening, what was going on. And one night, I was like being spiritually attacked, and it was the scariest thing because I live by myself with my kids. My kids weren't home, they were with their dad, and it was just me in the house. And one night I had a spiritual attack, and it was the scariest thing that I had ever experienced. I think it was just like, it was scary. And I did the only thing that we know how to do, right? We call out to Jesus. And so, I like couldn't move, whatever, in the bed and stuff. And I just felt held down and stuff. And again, it's a little bit more to the story about like things that happen and stuff, but this specific situation, and I just felt held down and everything. And it was just so scary. And I just cried out to Jesus so many times. And of course, Jesus came and he saved me. So, that pretty much put the fear of God in me. And from there, I prayed and I prayed and I asked God, and that was a moment when I had a real encounter with Jesus. And I realized that, I was doing things that weren't approved by him, that he didn't approve. And I just prayed and cried out to him. And and said, whatever it is, like, that I don't want it anymore. I don't want any of it. I don't want, that's when it's kind of like he had let me know that I was doing things that was not approved by him. And so in that moment of, coming to this realization, like, okay, none of it, praying over my house and everything, he had called me to go on my first fast. And I'm like, what? Okay, so I called myself going on a fast, and I went on a weekend fruit fast. And but I kind of knew that that's not what God wanted me to do. And so when I came off of that fast on like Sunday night, it was a very challenging fast, because at the same time I said I'm going on a fast, my sister was like, hey, we're gonna go to Golden Corral for my niece's birthday party. So that was like, yeah, great timing. But so after that fast and everything, and then I knew God wanted me to go on a fast. So directly after I came on my fast on Sunday, I went right into a fast on Monday, and it was my first 3-day fast. And in that fast, he brought me to this place when I was just studying his word, because from now at this point I was just in his word, and he brought me to Isaiah. And this is one of the things that he brought me to, when he brought me to a place of understanding that I was chosen by him. I was not rejected. And he brought me here and let me know that he brought me from the ends of the earth and called me. And I just remember, it's so clear, like so much stuff that I'm reading, and the promises and everything that he gave to me at that time. And it's like I'm so amazed sitting here, because I just reflect back and I think about how he set me up and prepared me for such a time as this, in terms of everything, how he told me everything that was happening. Of course, I didn't know that it was like actually going to be happening in the earth, when he said that he was shaking the earth. And I'm so amazed, because I'm like, wow, God, just how he comes for us. And I just want to do this video to just say that, like, hopefully it's not too long cut, but to just say that God has chosen you. It doesn't matter what your circumstances or your situation is looking like right now. You're chosen. You're not rejected. You are, he has set you apart. He is with you. He is helping you. He is your strength. And you cling to him, because I'm like, God, just help me to cling to this. I don't feel like I went through, the pandemic and everything well. I'm going to be honest. I don't feel like I went through it well. It was chaotic. It was hard. I don't feel like I claimed to him well, because I got anxious, and it was challenging. My kids were home, and we were in a small house, and I was trying to homeschool them, and it was a lot going on, and it was challenging, and I don't feel like I did well. And so, you know, I'm like, the guy reminds me that now. He's like reminding me, and I'm just reminding you guys that it's okay. You're still his. You're still chosen. You're still, he's still gonna help you. He's still your helper, and he's taking you. You're chosen. He's not giving you back. You're not rejected. Nothing's gonna change, his position for you, his feelings for you, his thoughts for you, and what he plans to do for you. And I really encourage you to read Isaiah 41 and just meditate on this, and just listen to what he's talking about. And here he's just talking about how you're chosen, and that he's with you, and that we don't have to fear, that he's holding on to us so tightly and everything. And he talks about your enemies, and the plans, and the people, and the separation. And he talks about what he's going to do. He's going to provide for you. He's providing for you. The poor and the needy seek water, but there is none. Their tongues are parched with thirst. I, Yahweh, will answer them, and the God of Israel will not forsake them. I will open rivers on the barren heights and springs in the middle of the plains. He is talking about your dry land, your things that seem like it's dried up and not working. He is going to open rivers on it. It's going to spring, it's going to grow, it's going to happen. Whatever it is that you're trusting God for, it's going to happen. He is not forgotten. He is faithful because he didn't forget me. And that is what I want to remind you guys. Like, he don't forget his children. And every time I think back of that, like, that is like, I've had a relationship with God for so long. He's always been there for me through all my craziness that I've done. But that was the moment where I really feel like I felt the most shame and guilt that I've ever felt, where I was actually kind of hiding from God. And every time I look back, I think about how I was kind of like that little kid in the corner, just hiding, hoping to not be seen. I was so afraid. I had so much shame. And I felt just wrong and dirty, and I just was in this place that, I didn't let anybody see. I just smiled and acted like everything was okay. But I felt so much guilt. And God didn't keep me there. And I just think about how he is so loving and he is so gentle. And he came to me so lovingly and so gently. And even, excuse me, sorry. And even though I was caught up in some stuff that I shouldn't have been caught up in, he was still so gentle with me. He was still so patient with me. And he pulled me out of it. And he never let me get too far involved. Because when things happened, he was always there to snatch me right back out of it. And he just ushered me through it. And so I just encourage you to read Isaiah 41 and just be reminded that God is with you, that he's your helper, that he is, that you're chosen and you're not rejected, and that no matter what mistakes that you made, no matter what mistakes you're making, none of that matters. What matters is that you cling to God and let him do the cleaning and all of that stuff and everything. Cling to him. I often think about David. David is one of my favorite people in the Bible. One of my favorite people in the Bible. And one reason is because he is a man after God's own heart. And I always was like, how, like, for years, like literally for years, like I was always like, I just was always amazed by him. Like, how did he do the things that he did and was considered the man after God's own heart? But I think it's because he just was real. He was authentic. He was human. And I love that about David. I love that he was human and that he had weaknesses and that he was not perfect. But it was about his heart. He knew who he belonged to. He knew who had all the power and all the strength. He knew who was his source and his foundation. And so I think about that and I try to, remember that it's not about perfection. It's about knowing, it's the pursuit. It's the pursuit of God's heart that makes the difference. Are you pursuing his heart? Are you pursuing him? He's not asking you to be perfect. He's asking you to be present with him daily, throughout the day. Be present in prayer. And so I just pray that this helps somebody. And again, sorry, you're just looking at my Bible because my face is just not ready for all that. But so I just wanted to say that and everything because God is just so good. He's just so amazing. I just love him so much. He's just, and I just pray that people get to a point where they can feel this way about God, that he is just good. Even when everything is not perfect, he's just good. I'm sorry, guys. Okay. All right, so let me go ahead and close this out, but I just wanted to say, bless you guys. I pray that you guys just trust God and cling to Him. Read Isaiah 41 and just really slow down and take it in and ask God to give you revelation and speak to you and meet you right where you are, because He will. His word is living, it's alive, and He will meet you right where you are. So, yeah. Alrighty, God bless.